What's going on, YouTube? So if you are watching this video, which you obviously are, I have some bad news. As of yesterday, I was supposed to complete my second Spartan race. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that was not possible, and I did not complete it because a week ago, your boy was admitted to the ER. So in today's video, I'm going to kind of recap my past month of training, workout, my health, and what I took from obviously having to cancel my race and then being put in the hospital, admitted to the hospital. Obviously, that's the reason why I have not uploaded in the past month, because March, I haven't uploaded a video for I think 4 weeks now. And the reason why, let me explain. So about 4 weeks ago, I started feeling sick. My wife started feeling sick. She ended up in urgent care, came back, turned out she had laryngitis. She got put on a steroid, not the steroids that make you buff, steroids that bring down the inflammation. She couldn't talk. A couple days later, I have the same symptoms. I can't talk. I end up going to urgent care, end up getting put on a steroid. Didn't make me buff, just brought my voice back. So that was about a week. So we were sick for about 2 weeks. I was sick for about a week, didn't feel well, and then a week after that, or 7 days of sickness, that's when the laryngitis hit me, and then I was basically sick for another 7 days. So I wasn't able to work out, wasn't able to put out content. As soon as I felt better and I was off the steroid, I got straight back to my old routine, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, working out, you know, cardio, core, strength, all that stuff. Did that for about a week, was feeling good, went on spring break, went out to my uncle's house in LA, came back. Next day I wasn't feeling that good. I went through my workout, but I knew something was up. That's one of the things. When you work out every single day, you eat the same thing every single day, you know how your body should feel. I woke up, wasn't really feeling my workout. When I finished my workout, usually I'm hungry. I wasn't hungry, so I knew something was up. I even told Cassie that day. I said, I got bad news, and she's like, what? I said, I think I'm getting sick. That night, so this was a Thursday, that night I had a fever, had the chills. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm getting sick. Hopefully it's only 24 hours. Cassie starts feeling the same. Then that Friday, pretty much every 5 hours I had a fever. That night, I started actually feeling chest pains and having shortness of breath. And first of all, guys, I've been breathing since I was 5, so I know how to breathe, okay? And I noticed I had shortness of breath when I would literally go and lay down. I would lay down in my bed, and I'd be like, and I couldn't catch my breath. I knew something was up. I actually had Cassie check my heart because my heart literally felt like it was spinning, doing somersaults, circles. So I knew something was up. Saturday, still not feeling good, still having a fever basically every 5 hours, chills, all that stuff. Saturday night, I felt like absolute trash. I could not breathe. My chest was killing me. I actually went to urgent care. But urgent care apparently didn't have people on staff, so they told me to come back in the morning. They actually told me to go to the ER, but I was like, I don't think it's that serious. I'm not going to the ER. I'll come back in the morning. So Saturday night, I'm chilling, I'm relaxed. Pretty much wasn't able to sleep that night. Sunday morning, I woke up, I told Cassie, I said, hey, I'm going straight to the urgent care as soon as they open. Urgent care opens, I go over there, go in, check, they do my labs, they do I don't think they did an EKG. Did they do an EKG? They did do an EKG. They did an EKG, they did a chest x-ray, they did some blood work, they did the whole, you know, whatever, as much as they could do. Results come back. She says, the doc says, I don't like what I see. I think you either have pneumonia or blood clots or COVID. So that sucked. As soon as she told me all that. So she says, which ER do you want to go to? You need to go to an ER. And I'm like, what is going on? First of all, I did not think it was that serious. Second of all, I don't want to die. So Cassie tells me which ER to go to. I go to the ER. I call Cassie. Cassie was freaking out. I didn't realize how severe blood clots could be, but she was not happy about that, and she was scared. She couldn't come in, obviously, because, you know, COVID. She can't be around me, apparently, at the hospital. So, anyway, go to the ER. They admit me right away because I had chest pains, which was kind of cool. Got VIP treatment. So I go in, they check my vitals. They do not like my oxygen levels, so they actually hooked me up to some oxygen, which immediately I felt like I was like, okay, I'm actually getting oxygen. I feel like I'm getting a clear mind. I felt a little bit better. Started getting a fever. They did all the all the checks. I can't even talk right now. Apparently I still have pneumonia. So they did all the tests. EKG, blood work, CT, X-ray, the whole 9 yards. Good thing is I didn't have to leave my bed. Came back, blood clots were obviously not there. They did not exist, so Cassie was very excited about that, but I did have bilateral pneumonia. So doctor comes in, gives me one prescription, says, hey, I'm gonna give you a prescription. I'm gonna be able to send you home today. I'm like, cool. I said, how soon can I return to physical activity? I got a Spartan race on Saturday I'm trying to do. He tells me, he's like, within 3 days, you'll feel pretty much 100% and you'll have to gauge it from then. So at this point, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, cool, golden, I should be able to do this Spartan race. My nurse comes back in, she takes me off the oxygen because I was still on the oxygen. And apparently at room temp, I was not breathing the way I should be. Apparently, normally you should be room air, 98% oxygen, whatever that means. As soon as she put me on room air and took me off the oxygen, I dropped to a 92. No, 89, that's what it was. 89, and she was not happy with that. She put me back on oxygen. She tells the doctor comes back in. He says, I thought you were off oxygen. We're going to have to send you home with an oxygen tank. I'm like, wow, okay. I just aged myself like to 80. So she comes back in, the nurse comes back in and tells me, hey, we're going to give you an oxygen tank, but it's Sunday, so most likely it won't get delivered today. You won't get it until tomorrow. We can't release you until you have it. Therefore, you're staying overnight. I've never stayed overnight at the ER, so I've never stayed overnight at a hospital, so I was not excited about that. So I call Cassie, give her the bad news, tell her, hey, I'm not coming home. They have to keep me overnight because oxygen levels are low. A couple hours goes by, start getting a fever. The nurse comes back in and she says, hey, Kaiser doesn't want you here. You got to go down to Kaiser. So we're going to call an ambulance. We're going to transport you down here. You're going to stay the night in Ontario. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. How long is that going to take? She's like, a couple hours. I'm like, joy. So sitting in the hospital, just chilling. I think the ambulance got there about 8:30 or 9 or so. At this point, I feel a fever coming back on. I still can't breathe. So they transport me, they put me on a gurney. First of all, gurneys suck. They're not comfortable at all. But the cool thing is I did get to check off something on my bucket list. I got to ride in an ambulance. During this entire time, I am trying to find the positive with obviously a negative situation. It could always be worse, right? It could have been a lot worse. Pneumonia is no joke, obviously, but it could have been blood clots. I mean, it could have been, so I was just counting my blessings at this time. Shout out to everybody who reached out to me. I had a lot of people reach out to me on Instagram, text me, make sure I was okay, so I appreciate all you guys. That means a lot to me, probably more than you know. So, anyways, I'm driving down, well, I'm not driving. Ambulance is driving down. Ambulances are fun, right? It was a pretty cool experience. He turned on that siren, he came over the intercom, and he was like, I mean, I felt like I was on Space Mountain. It was pretty legit. So we get down there, as soon as we get off the ambulance and they pull me outside, I instantly start shivering, I know I have a fever. Go inside, they switch me over the beds, I can't stop shivering, I can't catch my breath. They're like, okay, we gotta get this guy on medication, he has a fever, whatever. So they tell me they're gonna give me Tylenol IV, the good stuff. They told me that at about 11:30. I ended up not getting it until about 1:20. I was at a very low point. I was burning up. I was not comfortable. I was miserable. I was away from my family. Meanwhile, Cassie and Adeline are sick at home. Adeline has the stomach bug, and then Cassie's kind of having the same symptoms as me. Just a bad night. But the good thing is, as soon as the IV Tylenol kicked in, I was pretty much chilling. I instantly started sweating. I pretty much sweat from midnight until 6 o'clock the next day. Instant. So, anyways, they gave me a steroid. They put me on medication. They gave me an inhaler. Had to stay overnight. They ended up discharging me the next day. They weren't going to because I was still on oxygen, 4 liters, whatever that means. And they weren't going to take me off the 4 liters immediately. I wanted to get home. So as soon as the doctor told me that and he walked out, I instantly took out the oxygen just to see if your boy could breathe on room air. I didn't get up and start doing burpees or anything. I just wanted to see if I could breathe. I felt pretty good. I felt like I could breathe. So now I got up, I walked around. Wasn't having trouble breathing, so I called the nurse back in. I said, hey, I'm pretty sure I could breathe on my own. Could you call the doctor back? So the doc comes back in, he looks at me, he says, hey, your blood levels are pretty good. You're breathing on room air, okay, I'm gonna send you home. I'm like, thank you, baby Jesus. So he sends me home. I get home, obviously start taking my medication, start to feel a little bit better. And then the next morning, actually, Cassie ended up in urgent care. And she had like basically the pre-pneumonia or whatever. I think it was bronchitis. So she ended up on the same medication I was on. So I was on medication, she was on medication. Adeline has a stomach bug. I mean, it was just all bad. That night I came home from the hospital. Cassie actually took Adeline to the ER to make sure she was okay because her stomach bug. But they came back, they said she was fine, it's just a stomach bug. So fast forward. What I learned from this experience, because there's always something that you could take away from it. So obviously, you know, I was supposed to be in my Spartan race on April 2nd. We had a trip to San Diego planned, which we were supposed to take Adeline to SeaWorld on April 3rd. We bought tickets, paid for our hotel, all that stuff. I was able to switch my Spartan race, just had to change it, pay a little fee. We were able to we didn't pay for our hotel, so we got our money back. The only thing we were out of was obviously our SeaWorld, which we're gonna have to plan another trip. So that is where I have been this past month. And what I learned from this, because what I learned as soon as I was laying in bed, I asked the doctor where did I get the pneumonia from, and he starts telling me it's basically your immune system. You guys know, if you follow me, I eat healthy and I work out. That's like there's like 3 parts to fitness, nutrition, and health. Or I'm saying fitness and health. There's 3 parts. Obviously fitness, working out, cardio, lifting weights, all that stuff. Second is nutrition. The third part, which I have been neglecting like crazy for the past, honestly, probably 6 months, 5 months or so, and it finally caught up to me and kicked my butt, is rest. Rest is something that I do not take very serious. If you ask Cassie, I absolutely hate sleeping. I think it's a waste of time. If you were to ask me if I could have any superpower, what it would be to not sleep. First of all, just think about that for a second. If you didn't have to sleep, that's 8 hours extra that you get, that you could do whatever you want. You could go back to school, you could pick up a part-time job, you could do whatever you want. 8 hours is a lot. The whole world is sleeping, and if you did not need sleep, how much more could you get accomplished? So that's one of my downfalls, is I absolutely hate rest and I hate sleep. I feel like it's a waste of time. But as I'm laying there with my bilateral pneumonia and just thinking about it, it finally caught up to me. I need to treat rest as important as I treat nutrition and working out. I already had a talk with Cassie, worked out my new schedule. I'm not going to be working out 6 days a week. I'm not going to be waking up at 3 o'clock 6 days a week. That caught up to me. I need to sleep. So I truly believe everything happens for a reason. And I think the reason why I ended up with this, I don't know what it may not be this reason. It may come out later on down the road. That sometimes happens. I think it was to check myself and realize, Bryce, you got to focus on rest just as much as you focus on your nutrition and working out. So I'm dialing back things. I switched my race day. Obviously, I was supposed to do April 2nd was going to be the sprint. May 14th was going to be the Beast in Big Bear. I don't think I will be properly healed to do the Big Bear one, and I'm trying to rest. I'm not going to go David Goggins and be like, no, I'm going to tough it up and just go out there. No, I do not want to do this again. So, moving forward, the goals moving forward. Complete the trifecta, right? This whole series is about chasing trifecta to get those 3 medals. I'm also going to be chasing the trifecta of nutrition, fitness, or cardio, strength, nutrition, and rest. I got to focus on all 3 in order to complete my trifecta. The goal as of right now, May 14th, I will be doing the sprint in Big Bear. I think I should be okay for that. I'm going to take it very slow. I am getting back into working out this week. I'm going to take it very slow, keep my rest, keep my sleep. I'll probably my next video will be my new schedule, my new routine, and what I'm planning on doing moving forward. Recapping from pneumonia, because what I've read, some say that it can keep up with you for 6 months. I highly doubt I'm going to feel it for 6 months. I pray I'm not going to feel it for 6 months, but I'm definitely going to ease back into it. I'm not going to go all out. The only downfall, it doesn't look like I will be able to do the Beast until October 22nd. That's like, unless I want to travel pretty far, which I don't know if I want to do that yet, doesn't look like I'll be able to do the beast until October 22nd, unfortunately. So I won't be completing my trifecta in May, which I hoped for, but it looks like it's going to be pushed back to October 22nd. But it is what it is. Obviously, you guys know this channel is all about, you know, not being average and trying to find the good in everything. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and you should always try to find the good no matter how bad your circumstance is. It could always be worse. So again, I have my health. Cassie's starting to feel better. Adeline's back to her normal self. We're healthy, we're happy, we didn't lose that much money. We didn't lose anything major, like one of us. So I'm counting my blessings. I'm gonna keep training, I'm gonna take it slow. I will keep you guys along for the journey. I'm still chasing the trifecta. It's just gonna be pushed back a little bit. And like I said, this was a learning experience for me. I've realized how important rest is, and I don't wanna end up in an ER again. So, appreciate you guys sticking with me for this past month. I apologize for not having content come out every week like I've been doing. But I'm thinking with this new mindset I have, I should be fine. I should be able to keep the content coming out. So just stay tuned for that, guys. Again, guys, this was a wake-up call for me. Make sure you get your rest. Make sure you cherish the time that you have with the people you love. Make sure you tell them that you love them. You guys already know the motto. Stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I'll catch you guys next time.